Episode 237, Tank Slappin Podcast. Senoi Raceway Rewind. We got the Mission Food CTR Showcase in Senoi, as well as the American Flat Track Senoi. I think they call it Atlanta Short Track. But on the other side, Scotty Taylor, is Senoi a short track, buddy? Where are we at on this?
Senoia is a 3/8 mile,
It's
and
big.
that is what it is. But we can call it a short track, I guess. It's funny they've got Budds Creek listed as a half mile on the schedule. Is that a half mile? I thought it was shorter. Whatever. We don't need to get into logistics. This is like the hot
Yeah.
topic debate when people want to argue about stuff. So we're not going to even open that can of worms. But Senoi is awesome. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's man, people like they whine about these short tracks, but that's like a great track for racing. I feel like every year we've been there, there's been awesome racing. And I think we'll get to it a little bit about the track this year. I think this year was maybe the worst the track has been, which it was still really good. Um, but yeah, short track, it's kind of crazy it being a short track when the Cobra 50s are up to 70 mile an hour on the half mile, which is just insane. But really cool weekend. Got up there Wednesday night, and then we did setup Thursday, amateur racing Friday, pro racing on Saturday. Hectic weekend, but I really love that part of the country. I really liked being. It's Senoi. I'm used to calling it Senoia because we all called it Senoia for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, "It's pronounced Senoi." I'm like, "Oh, really?" So,
Bro, the whole racing world was like that. When I mentioned that in a Dirt Vision meeting, they were like, "Are you joking?" I was like, "No, we all got roasted a couple of years ago for saying Senoia, and that's what
yeah,
everybody was like trained to do, and you had to just like wrap your mind around the fact that it's Senoi, and
yeah.
everybody's got different opinions of what to say. So I guess we'll try to stick with what Wikipedia says to pronounce it as, and what the locals tell us to say.
Yeah, whatever, Roger that. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. We just got home a couple hours ago. Got home. It's a 6 hour-ish drive for us. We stopped and RV life, dumped the tanks, all that stuff, dump the fresh water and get everything parked, unload. It's 8:25 here PM recording time, but I'm grinding these pods out, man. This is for the fans, for you guys. What would you do without some tank slapping in your life? And I appreciate you
What would we
too.
do?
You had a couple beers in your hands this weekend, dude. So you're probably dragging right now.
What you mean? That wasn't me.
Yeah,
That was opposite Scotty.
it was Taylor Scotty.
Yeah, exactly. It was Taylor Scott. Yeah.
Taylor
Nah, man. It was
Scott.
yeah. Figured go vacation mode. We had a few drinks in the campground. Got the pleasure of getting to hang out and camp with my buddy Cole Davis, who does a ton to help out the YouTube channel that we have. And Cole's an amazing guy. It's so awesome to get to hang out with him and really appreciate what he and his wife did as far as like welcoming me in and giving me a place to stay and then getting the RV set up and handling all the camping stuff there to where I got to feel like a celebrity that was being flown in to make a guest appearance. But
You even
nah, man,
signed
they're
some
awesome.
autographs, dude. I saw you signing autographs too, bro. That's so
Man,
sick.
what is this? Like we got multi-time champions signing a hat for a fan, and they're like, dude, let's have you do it too. And it was probably the worst signature I've ever done on anything, and I feel so bad for that. But that was cool, man.
It's hard to
Dude,
sign hats and shirts, right? Like people don't realize how hard it is. Like you gotta like stretch that sucker out. And I always took my time with like signing shirts because I don't it like it's hard. It's hard to sign. Like it can like smudge. And I always took my time where I see other people's signatures on a shirt. I'm like, really? Like that's the best you could do for this guy? Like, no,
but you know
it's you
whose
deserve it,
signature
bro. It's
really
so
mattered?
sick.
The signature that really mattered was the crew's signature. That's
Yeah.
the that's
Yeah.
the big one.
Yeah, and then they were a little nervous to ask Shayna for an autograph. Which Shayna, yeah, she's a little intimidating, probably, I would think for most people. And I went over to Shayna, I said, "Hey, this young kid wants your autograph, but I think he's a little nervous to come get it." She's like, "I'd be nervous if I was him too." Like just joking around. So it was a good weekend though, buddy. Started off with the amateur showcase. We'll talk about that. I kind of knew going into this one that it would be our toughest one as far as turnout goes because it's so close to Daytona and it's only a couple months after Winter Throwdown. So making multiple trips back down to the southeast is challenging for any family. Gas prices are really high, and Georgia doesn't have how many flat track races are from just Georgia?
Flat track racers right now?
Yeah.
Is it
How many were at the showcase just from Georgia? Like not maybe
Brianna?
and
The
she's
end?
technically from Massachusetts, but
Lives in
yeah,
Cairo.
maybe
Well,
maybe
you're
four
from
or five
Pennsylvania, but you're
people.
saying Florida on all your
Oh,
stuff.
I'm Florida now. I love Florida. No, it's there's not a big contingent of riders from Georgia also. So everybody that went to Senoi pretty much traveled a few hours to get there at least. And yeah, I kind of expected it to not be like an amazing turnout, which stinks because it's such a fun racetrack. But we still had 155 entries, maybe 158 entries. Forget what it was exactly, which isn't terrible. And the riders that came were treated to a really good racetrack. Yeah, I mean, as far as track prep goes, I just told them hard and smooth, make it fast. We kept trying to water it a little bit. It was almost too fast. Like it was a very, very fast track. I rode, so I have some insight on the track. I rode there 3 years ago, and it was a lot different than it was this year. 3 years ago, the track was kind of you could race up and down the track and square up the corners. And for me, this year, it didn't race that way. To me, it raced like very abrasive, kind of like Volusia-ish, but the dirt was kind of unpredictable to read for me. It looked dry, so I was constantly waiting for the bike to step out in the corners, but there was a crazy amount of grip. And off of turn two, it had a little bit of bumps. Nothing terrible, but you had to kind of put your testicles up on the tank a little bit and just kind of take control coming off turn two because you come off turn two really fast and you shoot out to the wall, and that wall comes up quick. It's a very, very, very fast short track. Um, but yeah, I mean the track's still good. Like a bad day at Senoi, sorry, the track is still it's still really it's still really good. And yeah, and maybe a little bit of it too. Like I felt really uncomfortable. I haven't ridden a track like that in a few years, and going that fast on that type of track, especially on a 450, man, it's pretty crazy. Like it's like wow, like are those the other cars? Like Ricky Bobby type thing. Like so it took a little bit for my like muscle memory to get it sorted out and get a handle on it. But it was a fun track. I mean the kids were flying, and it was really good racing, all things considered.
I mean, I thought the race there was several events during your night program that came down to the like very late stages. The vet classes, all of them, yours, 40 plus, 50 plus, all came down to like late drama in the end. The racing I thought was really, really good. And like you talked about the smaller bikes, especially like Jaden and Wesley and Cruz, just looked like slot cars. They were just it looked like they were just pinned and just when they would keep the wheels in line, it was really impressive to watch. And then yeah, the 450s and I know you said you're a little bummed about the turnout, but when you look at your I mean, you're trying to grow all the way through, and but your premier, like what I would call the premier amateur classes, your 450 am, open am, road AFT classes, you had north of 20 entries, and you had plenty of people who are incredibly talented who didn't make it into the Saturday show, and that's I mean that's good for like the health of the sport is to see that talent depth and that sort of competitiveness at those big classes, and yeah, man, it was some really good racing, and one thing that Cole pointed out to me that we didn't even think about all weekend, we were just kind of locked into having fun, but this was the warmest it's been there, I think, since
Mm,
they've started having nationals there. Normally it's a lot cooler, and I'm sure that probably played a factor into,
mm.
the track prep as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't think about that. I mean, when we got there Wednesday night, it was actually really cold, and then progressively throughout the weekend, it got a little bit warmer. So, yeah, I think when it's colder, chillier, the moisture comes up more, and the track gets more slick, and you can race it differently. I know I looked my times from a couple years ago, and I think my best was like an 18:1, or maybe it was an 18:2 a couple years ago. And then I know in my heat race, I got down to a 17:9, which it would have put me. I mean, we weren't far off the fast amateur kids. Like Bodie and them, they were running like 17:6, 17:7s a couple of laps, but third on back, I mean, third through fifth or sixth, they were running 17:9s. I think I qualified seventh in the open amateur class, but I didn't race that class. I kind of just used it as practice. I was a lot more uncomfortable on the Turner bike than I thought I'd be. It's It's one of Walker's bikes, and it's really fast. It's a fun bike to ride, but it's set up a really tall, it seems like. I really struggle touching on it, and I don't know if it's like I just feel uncomfortable on it. I don't feel super comfortable on it unless the track's really locked in, then I feel good, but most of it is probably me just not riding flat track. I've been riding moto and I feel really good riding a moto bike, but to be good at flat track, you really got to put the laps in. Like you got to go to these races every weekend, ride in a circle, and just put the time in. And that's just something I have not done at all in the last few years. So I was really uncomfortable just in general all weekend. I felt really good in the heat race, and then we took a tooth off for the main event, and it was like you have those races where you like either do a sighting lap and you know you're in trouble, but like the first lap of the race, I was like, oh no, like that was a really bad change. We shouldn't have did that. And I was like, man, I don't think I'm gonna win this. I don't think I'm gonna win this. I was in third for a while, and I just found a way, baby. We just grind that racecraft out, just get it done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, James Parker got out of your way for a minute, and then you had it's just you and Rob, mano a mano. You
yeah,
should have
he
tried that Turner half mile setup on the 100 bike. They had it ready to go for you.
yeah. I don't know what was going on with that bike, but yeah, I thought he was gonna have me ride it. It was set up moto suspension, and Nick was trying to tell me that was like a new setup they were trying, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think I want to ride that. So, uh, no, it
Just a
was,
little tall.
yeah, for sure. No, you mentioned the little bike kids, were flying. I mean, I watch Cruz all the time, and it's hard for him to impress me at this point. Like I'm pretty tough on him, and a couple cushion half miles. I've seen him ride his Cobra. I'm pretty impressed watching him slide a Cobra 50 on a cushion. And 2 years ago at Winter Throwdown, I thought he rode really, really well. And most of the time, he usually races at like 80%. I feel like I'm kind of always underwhelmed watching him race. But this weekend on the Cobra 50, I was very impressed. I mean, he did a 19.3 on his 50. And in my main event on the 450, I did an 18.2. Um, I was like 1 second quicker. That's it. Than on a 450 than he was on his 50. So it was, yeah. I mean, the lap times they did there a few years ago, I've never seen any 50s under like a 20.3, and he was doing 19 threes, and they clocked him at 70 mile an hour on a Cobra 50. So it was really cool to see. I wish we had some footage of like trackside of him going by on the Cobra. I mean, I'm gonna try to get some of the fan choice coverage footage to post it because people that weren't there, I kept saying all day to like all my buddies, I'm like, go watch Cruz on the Cobra right now. Like it's very, very impressive. I mean, he would have beaten like, well, I don't know if he would have beaten, but his times were as good as maybe mid pack on the 80s, the 85 class on the 50. So he rode really well. Reef Pendergrass on the 65 he's really stepped up his game. I mean, I think he's a top two or three rider in the country, um, consistently on a 65, and he could win any race. Like he's gotten so much better over the years. Mainly, I think him and Cruz just racing together. It helps a lot racing fast kids. So we're grateful he's got some speed in him. It really helps us like have people to compete with. And the 85 class, Jaden and Wesley were quite a bit better than everybody else this race. Wesley stepped it up. He's a really good big track rider. He's a good rider in general, but he really elevates on the bigger tracks. And he might have been maybe quicker than Jaden, but Jaden just, man, he's just riding really good right now. He's just figuring out ways to get it done. He's got really good racecraft, really good racecraft. He's aggressive, and
He's
yeah,
really confident now too. He's gotten
yeah.
really confident in his abilities on that bike, and has been able to. It's definitely translated for sure. How so Wesley and Jaden, I think were going at it in Peoria last year too. How would you compare Peoria to Senoi?
Peoria is quite a bit smaller. I'd have to look at my gearing, but like I was only 3 teeth slower at Senoi, damn, than on his
This is fun.
Cobra than I was at like Harpster half mile, big cushion half mile on his Cobra versus Senoi. I was only 3 teeth slower. So Peoria, I might have been 5 or 6 teeth slower. So I think it was 3 teeth different on the 50. I mean, it's quite a bit slower. Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
race Peoria, but it's Senoia's big, bro. Like that's a big track. And it's bad. You just roll through it the whole time. So yeah, no, it was good. There was a lot of good 85 kids there. So I think Reef actually qualified third in one or two of the classes, and then
He also made one of the craziest saves of the day when the
did
back
he?
end stepped out and he did a full 360 without getting hit.
I didn't see that during the
It
race or on the
was
starting
yeah,
line.
during the heat race
Oh, I
on
didn't
a
see
well, so
that.
yeah, on the starting line of his heat race, either I want to say it was the youth premier heat race. I think it was the second one he was in. Might have been the first, but it was during a heat race. And I mean, a lot of people were having issues with the bikes, like stepping down the banking, and a dude
Hardest track to start on.
stepped on him big time, and just he went like full circle and then took off and went.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, I almost did that in the 30 plus heat race. That's why in the main event, I started on the bottom so I could try to touch better, and I got terrible start. But yeah, really good group of 85cc kids. There was kids from Texas, Michigan. Moto Music came down from Michigan. The box came up from Texas or over from Texas. You had some Illinois riders. You had I'm trying to think who all.
I think Carter was there.
Yeah, Carter and Settle and Oliver. Man, it was. I'd have to look, but there's a good group of riders there for sure. And I yeah, I got to watch a little bit. I wish I would have been able to watch more, but I was trying to race, which was I don't know why I do this to myself. And then Cruz, I had Trent Lowe as Cruz's mechanic, which that's kind of self-explanatory. He did a pretty good job. I gave him a B plus at the track, but then I remembered that he forgot a transponder one time and he almost missed the race. Like they were calling him, they were like he didn't have a helmet on. So I'm gonna knock the B plus of Trent down to a B minus. I think I'm being generous there.
That's
But
gonna hurt his contract extension.
yeah, I mean, I'm grateful he was able to help. It's so hard to find help at the races for Cruz when I'm promoting. Usually Kent Grimel is my guy or Johnny Long, but now Johnny Long and Dalton Winkler, they're helping out Jake Page. And then we had Bodie racing, and then we had Cruz racing, and he rides three. It was just a lot, dude. So I didn't get to watch as much as I wanted. But going to the big bike classes, man.
Real quick.
Okay.
You talked about Oliver. Oliver really improved a lot throughout the day. I know qualifying wasn't great for him, but he started progressing throughout the day, got a couple of top fives. And Ella got that
Ella,
podium.
podium. Yeah, I was
And
sick.
I know we're not supposed to be biased in media, but I am always going to be biased towards the Nickens family because I grew up watching John race. It's such a cool full circle moment getting to watch like them like their kids grow up now. So yeah, sorry, I'm biased towards that family. So getting to actually hop in the booth with Ian and call that race with Jaden and Wesley battling up front, Ella getting a podium, that was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah.
That was a big highlight of the weekend.
Yeah, it's Ella's overlooked a little bit because Jaden's her twin brother, but she's a really good rider, man. I've
The
always
faster
thought,
the track, the better she is.
yeah, for sure. No, she's really good. She's a good rider, and I like Ella. She's the sweet, innocent little girl, but I heard she's mean. I heard that's what John says, like when you make her mad, which I'm like, ah, it's good, dude. You got to have some fire in your daughter for sure. But yeah, she did really well, and I really want to give a shout out to Jada Parker. That's the best I've seen her ride. And I have a soft spot for women that race just because of the sibling that I have that was really fast and still is really fast. I can't say she was. She rode about a couple months ago and I was still impressed. But um, there's a lot of I don't know how to take this the wrong way. There's a lot of women who they're all good riders, but some are a little overconfident and wanting to be like the next Nicole Meese or next Shayna Texter. And it takes a lot for watching a lady to really impress me. It's expected. I've watched Shayna race for years, and when she was an amateur, she was beating and battling with Brad Baker, JD Beach, Jeffrey Carver, and she was winning the guy classes all throughout her amateur days. I mean, Shayna was a badass, and not to take anything away from other women racers, but takes a lot to impress me, and I was really impressed with Jada at Senoi. That was I was like I didn't know who was winning. I was at first I was like, who's that? Like that's it was a women's class. She's ripping whoever, and I was like, oh, that's Jada. Like she was very. I wish she would have rode open amateur or the road to AFT class. I mean, she looked amazing.
Yeah, I
Uh,
have to go back and look at those lap times. But yeah,
bro, they were
from
fast. Like
P1 on, like
yeah.
or qualifying one on, just like came out the gate swinging. And for that first session of qualifying, I was standing down in the infield, and you can get up on like the hills there, and there's it's far enough away to where you're still in like a safe zone. You talk about watching crews go around the banking there, and being able to see the riders going around there. Yeah, you could see Jada was just sending it in there, and she was, like you said, she was ripping. This is absolutely one of the most impressive rides out of her. So it's cool to see her getting more and more confident
Yeah.
and putting in a performance like that. It would have been great to see if she gave the Open Amateur, a chance that night.
Yeah, no, she looked really fast. So shout out to her as well. And then going to the big bikes, won't talk about it too long because we got to talk AFT as well. But uh, the good kids were good. To be honest, Sam Drain, Bodie Page, big shout out Charlie Jakes, dude. Like, holy shit, like
Bro,
that was a big win. I mean.
that start from the third row into like third place
I
going into
missed
one
the
and two,
start. I got to go
dude,
back and watch the start, but dude, hats off. Like if you can pull off a win in that class, and he wasn't I mean, maybe he was in that race, but he wasn't the fastest kid all day long. And to hold off those kids and figure out how to get it done and start on the like, dude, that's impressive. I mean, that it's not easy to do that.
no.
So. Really, really big win for him, dude. It's really cool for them. I know they put a lot of work in. They travel to all these races and they put a lot of work in. So that's really cool. And I'm really proud of Bodie as well. He hasn't ridden very many of these clay tracks. I mean, I think this is like his third clay track he's ever ridden. He rode Hagerstown and then Peoria Speedway, and he was fast, dude. He was very fast. That second main event. I was watching. I was up next or something, so I wasn't watching the race, but I was watching the times, and it was like every lap he would gain two, 3 tenths, just checked out. He won by had to be over straightaway, right? Like
The
if the
Open
map,
Amateur one, he was
yeah,
gone. Yeah.
yeah,
Really impressive ride in 450 AM. Had to come from fourth through the pack to win that one. I think he had to get around Loic and Sam and catch Katarzi there late. Uh, and yeah, put in a great ride there. And then Open Amateur, he got a good start, got out front, and was just hauling. When he could get by himself, yeah, I don't think. I mean, Sam was close. I think on times, like just the two of them by themselves. But man, with Bodie got out front, he was just. I mean, he's just like you've talked about his mentality, and I don't get to see everybody. Like I don't get to talk to everybody in the pits, but I do spend a little more time with you guys because y'all are pretty much like family to me. So kind of get to see a little more of Bodie and Jake's mindset. And just talking to Bodie, man, he's like he shows up on race day and he's got the mindset that, dude, I'm gonna win. Not I'm gonna try to win. I'm gonna win, and he's gonna do his best to make that happen. I think that plays a big part, between the years, just being confident in yourself and your abilities. And he trusts in that, and maybe sometimes it puts him in a spot, but a lot of times it pays off.
yeah. And then obviously he had a big crash in the pro sport class, so that was really tough. It was totally a racing incident. I mean, it wasn't anything that anybody did wrong there. I mean, he was trying to make a pass on Charlie, and Charlie just spun up, and Bodie was maybe a little bit over committed trying to. I mean, dude, it's on a track like that, you got to try to get a run off the corner and beat him down the straightaway. And he almost had it, I think, the lap before going in the three. And yeah, he just spun up. Bodie was in his rear tire and clipped his wheel, and boom, there she went. It was a really bad deal for Braxton and
Brody Hanson was the other one
Brody
that got
Hansen.
quieted.
Yeah, clipped his bike. And big bank tracks like that, dude, when you're rolling around so fast and there's no technical aspect to it. I mean, not it's technical, but big bank short tracks like that, they're there's no room for error. Like if somebody crashes, you're usually if you're behind, it's not good. So I'm glad they were all okay. That was tough to see, and it was a bummer. Bodie was we decided to sit Bodie out the rest of the weekend. He's riding for. He's got a really really big road race contract this year with Team Hammer and M4 Suzuki, and that's his job. He's got to perform in that championship. But um, he was really, really bummed. He wanted to race so bad on Saturday. He was a grumpy gills on Saturday.
I started just
Yeah,
pumping it full of caffeine. Like, here's a Celsius, here's a coffee.
yeah, he was really banged up. I'm thankful none of them kids got hurt or broke their wrists or anything. Like,
Braxton's was scary because I mean
yeah,
he got knocked out. You could see like thank goodness for the safety advancements that we have and like having the airbag suits, having this helmet technology because he took a big hit and Brody did too. Like and I guess Brody just the way he was able to land to just bounce back up. I mean
yeah,
because he got some serious air, but man that was a yeah that's just a really unfortunate part of the sport. Just being in such a high impact zone. I mean you're on the gas full send coming off the corner at that point and when it's in your line and I think Braxton he was actually side by side for position and was just wrong place wrong time. I think Brody might have been in that same line just a couple of bike lengths back so you can't like see it your view's blocked there and it's just bang
yeah.
bang bang it happens all so fast so yeah very grateful to see all of them get to their feet and to see Braxton and Bodie at the track the next day even though they weren't racing just to see them there walking around and
Yeah.
being able to converse and talk and
Yeah.
cut up a little bit. Bodie and I were talking a little bit smack.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll move. Do we have anything else for the amateur stuff? We can kind of translate that right into the pro.
I guess we can shift it right in. Your next one, Ventura, will be the next round for your showcase events. So
Yeah.
that'll be
Yeah. I'm
everybody
excited.
heads west.
Yeah. I'm excited to go out to the West Coast just because it's been a few years since I've been there. The fuel tank on my diesel isn't excited to go out west, but it's been a long time coming for us to go out to California. We'll talk about it in weeks leading up to the event, but really excited to have new people, new families come race our events and see the level we've taken these amateur events. Like I thought the event ran so smooth. I mean, we were done even with the crash, we were done by 9:15 p.m. Every little bike main event got 10 laps, the big bikes got 12, road to AFT was 15. We even took an hour and 10-minute break to re-prep the track before the main events. And I don't know. I'm biased, but I just like my team is so amazing. They do such a good job in every aspect of what we do, from the live streaming aspect to the announcers to our gate, how smooth our gate runs, and knowing when you're up and registration and timing, live timing, and Katie and Debbie at the front gate, and it was better with wristbands this event. There were still a couple AFT kids that were in there that didn't get there you go, boy. That didn't get wristbands still. It's like, guys, the one kid was like, "Hey, if it really helps you, I'll go out and get you a wristband." I'm like, "Yeah, it's my job. Like it really helps me to be able to keep doing these events." But it was a lot better and just really grateful to everybody that came out and supported what we're doing and
Yeah,
trying to
keep in
get.
mind, folks, this is amateur flat track racing, and the level of um, exposure that is happening for an amateur flat track race is on par with like national touring professional motorcycle series. So it's don't just turn your nose up at that. Like what and yeah, sure, like you're my homie, so of course I'm gonna gas you up where I can. But I truly do enjoy these events. I think they're stellar what you guys are able to accomplish and what we're getting to see out of again an amateur flat track event is getting this kind of exposure and treatment. It's great to see. It's great for the riders, and it's cool to see your team just so committed to this and to be able to pull it off.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, and they are fan-friendly events. Like we promote to the back gate, we promote to the riders and the families. That's what our events are like. It's sort of modeled toward like Loretta Lynn's, and we don't model our events to the front gate because I want to make sure these riders are getting the track prep they need, getting the laps they need, and but like I would say our events cater to fans. Like the fans can come out, know what's going on. It's quick, it's efficient, and it's fun to watch the kids, vet riders, amateurs. It's a really fan-friendly event, and I need to do a little bit better job maybe trying to promote some to the front gate. So out in California, I'm hoping we get a few more fans. It's hard as well because I'm partnering with AFT and it's just hard in some aspects to do like I have to go through them for certain things and they've been very helpful. I'm very grateful for the partnership that we've had. But there are some challenges that I'm still learning. Like I've said, I think the last podcast about Daytona, I'm used to steering the ship, whether it's into an iceberg or into a safe landing, and some of this stuff I'm learning how to manage certain aspects of it. So, but I hope we get more fans at some of the West Coast rounds. Like,
I think what you mentioned that to me shortly before we were recording this about wanting to try to get more fans there. I think for the longest time, or not the longest time, but I remember going to a supermoto event when they were first firing off here in the States, when like everybody was doing it, and the way they kind of structured everything. And this was during the same weekend that they had super bikes at VIR. They kind of went ahead and did their qualifying and heat races during the day, and then the night show was super pole, LCQs, and main events. I know like some of the challenges you're going to have is just being on a Friday during the day.
yeah.
When you start, I think that does kind of deter some spectators, as maybe they think they're going to miss out, even when you have it advertised like, hey, opening ceremony is here and main events. Is it worth considering backtracking some of those things? You still have the admission challenge at night, and I still think you get a pretty good value for what you're getting. You're getting 17 main events plus the dash for cash plus the opening ceremonies at under the lights when the track conditions are generally better. I mean, is that something you like would think about, maybe backpedaling LCQs into that too, just to add a
I
little
mean,
extra
if you
layer? Or
do, I guess if you do the math, races at our races versus American Flat Track, like we have 17 main events and a mission challenge. How many races are on the AFT day? You have two singles heat races, two twins heat races, two LCQs, two
you're
main
looking at
events,
you're
and
looking at 10 to 12.
then you had the road to AFT heat and main. So you had 10 races versus 17 mains. I mean, I think you get, and ours is $25 to get in. So I think if the fans got there for opening ceremonies and they just watched the main events, um, I think we started the mains at 7:30 and we would have
Mhm.
been done at 9 if we didn't have that crash. So that's an hour and a half of straight racing. I mean, it's really
Straight racing.
straight racing. Like we know there's no breaks. We just keep firing them off. So yeah, we'll see, buddy. I mean, I need to do a better job trying to. Again, I'm going to be a back end event, but I need to put a little bit of focus into trying to get more fans in. It just hasn't been my business model. I know I can do it. I know I can pack the grandstands. I just need to do it. I just need to focus on that a little bit more. But my priority is always the riders and their families. So we'll keep looking at that, and we go out west here. We'll try to pack the stands a little bit out there at those tracks. So
Let's go. Looking forward to. I can't get out there unless we get rained out and I hop on a last second flight. But we'll be watching.
yeah,
I'll get depressed if I get too much into that. So
yeah,
let's flip the script. AFT Saturday. This is the first time I actually like did a pre-registered like guest deal as opposed to just like buying the front gate tickets. And let me tell you something, that was amazing because I could get my wristband early. I could go into the pits. We could hang out early on, talk to everybody, get to go to the chapel service that Raymond Rizzo hosts, which is really cool that they do that. That was being at the track already camping was neat, but man, I had a wonderful time at the event on Saturday, and the fans showed out. That place was packed. That was a late model crowd for a dirt track race. Like that place, fence line was slam packed with cars, people. The grandstands on the front stretch side, people were spilling out onto the hillside over there too. Dude, that's awesome to see. And this track always gets a pretty good crowd, but I think like Cole and I were talking about, that might be the biggest, and I don't know the numbers exactly, like Bubba would have to talk about that and AFT would have to talk about that. But it looked eyeball wise that it was their biggest crowd of the times they've had here, which is so sick to see that many eyeballs coming to attend an American flat track race. That's what we want to see.
yeah. I think the weather helped a little. Like we talked about that earlier. It was really nice weather, and a couple of years like building consistency with programs is a good thing as well. And yeah, I mean, they did a great job bringing the crowd in, and yeah, they're treated to some really good racing. I guess we'll talk singles first. Well, we could talk road to AFT. We'll just talk about that real quick. Just big shout out to Sam Drain for winning another road to AFT main event. Pretty much unchallenged in the main event. Just yeah, he's a great rider. Just gets good starts. He's on a good team and very
Sort of got
smooth.
sort of set a theme of a Yamaha rider gets out front and starts to just
Yeah.
kind of control things of the night. But Sam is, yeah, he's such a smooth rider, and it just like he's almost, it's weird. He's deceptively fast. Like when you watch him race, he looks really smooth, and sometimes you don't. it doesn't his bike doesn't sound like it's like growling down the straightaways or anything, but he's so fast and just like so precise.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's expected. Like we've seen him for years now, and he's a really good rider. And would have been cool to see Bodie out there. I think he was the only one that really had anything for him. So it would have been cool to kind of just to see that kind of battle on Saturday. But with Bodie not being able to race, Jake Page got a provisional because he didn't make it in, and
Who else was it? Was it Bane
it
Nance
was
that got the
Bane
other one?
Nance.
Okay.
Yeah. So I told Jake, I said, "Hey, you might have a provisional for tomorrow. Don't waste it. Like make the most out of it." And goes out and gets second place in the main event. So that was it's pretty cool. I'm biased. Two of my best friends built him that bike and started a team to give that kid an opportunity to race on a 2023 gas. It was somebody's moto bike that they bought, set up, and it's bone stock. I mean, they're all bone stock, but they did nothing to that thing besides lower it. And yeah, he's been struggling a little bit on it. Hasn't done a lot of flat track the last few years, but he went out and came from the back, not the back, but came from mid pack and got second.
He was like fifth, and he just started rolling the high line. And that
Yeah,
window, like that time from like it looked like the second twins heat, maybe second twins heat through LCQs. That window, I feel like, and even maybe in the challenge race too, is when the track looked like it was at its raciest, where you could move up a little bit more. And Jake was rolling that outside and moved his way into second. I said by the time he got there, Sam was long gone. But
yeah,
that's got to be really rewarding for Jake. I know he was super bummed out on Friday about only making the one main event, and yeah, showed up on Saturday and
yeah.
in good spirits. And yeah, that was fun to watch them come from the back. These guys were battling back there behind Sam, and I know Jed Fife was really strong in the heat race and gave Sam a run for his money. I think Jed won the heat race in Daytona too, and he's another one of those like really fast Australian riders. It's we talk about all the time. It's gotten international. You had Loic Nadeau, who came down from Canada and got I think a couple of podiums on Friday night and was up there in that mix on Saturday as well.
Yeah, and another rider who kind of made those adjustments to the high line was Ryder Bitse. He was riding around the bottom, kind of struggled. I think he got passed by a couple guys, and he moved back. I think he saw where Jake was, moved up to the high line and made something work there. And yeah, he's been doing really well, top five, top three consistently in the country. Anywhere you go is Ryder Bitse, and it's kind
Give
of
him the
crazy.
bitsness.
Yeah, yeah, he rode very well. It's cool to see them succeed. They travel all over the country from California. It's not easy, and they put a lot of work in, and it was really cool. And I'm especially proud of Jake as well. Like that's the first clay track he's ever ridden. He's never ridden a high bank car track like that. So I don't know how he knew to go to the High Line. Yeah,
Because nobody was in front of him, so he could just go ride and get out, and
yeah,
they weren't in his way.
and he was funny. Just on the podium, he was so pumped. Just it's like the three kids on the podium and then like the trophy girls. And he looks over at me, he's like, "Get in the picture, Corey. Come on." I'm like, "Dude, I can't. Like it's a podium photo. Like I'm not getting in the photo." He's like, "Get in, get in." I'm like, "Chill out, you spaz. I'm not getting in the photo." And then just how happy he was. I was FaceTiming his parents who they're in Australia, so it's tough for those kids to be over here by themselves and trying to do this. So got to FaceTime his parents on the podium. So
He was geeked, man. He was just grinning ear to ear coming off the track with you
yeah,
guys, and walk up, give the kid a hug because he had a tough weekend too, and
yeah,
so yeah,
got a tough
good
couple
for him.
weeks. Yeah, he's been putting more focus in on road racing. So we've got to put some more time in this summer on the flat track bikes. But really talented, just funny kid, dude. I hate him, but he's so funny. So uh,
We had a fun little brunch at the Nickens camp of Jaden and Ella, me and Jake. That was a good time.
yeah, he's only a year younger than Bodie, but it almost seems like he acts like he's the same age as Cruz. Like he's got a little kid mentality, and he just talks a lot of shit, and he's just a fun kid to be around. I
Their
kept
dynamic is hilarious. Him and Bodie's dynamic they're just electric
yeah.
factories. They probably like we talked earlier. I'm sure they stress you out, but
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
quite an experience to be around the two of
yeah.
them.
I got both of those. I got Cruz and I got Bo. Yeah, dude, I'm aging. I feel like just yeah, I mean it's good though. I mean, I get to go collect Pokemon cards with Jake because Jake's like my Pokemon buddy. He's in the Pokemon. He thinks it's cool. And then I got Bodie to go out and train with. So like I'll go out on a 5 mile run with Bodie and he'll keep me. Bodie's in phenomenal shape for his age. And then I'll go and I'm still training with Jake. Like I'm his dad's probably gonna watch this. He's not training. It's like, dude, we're training. Like Jake's getting better every day. But yeah, two different personalities for sure. But the whole Road to AFT class once again did very, very well. The kids once again stepped up on the big stage and show that they belong to be the support class at these events. And couldn't be more proud of them. It's really cool. I think I don't like to take credit for where they're at, but just kind of guiding them through the ranks and giving them high level events year after year. First at Winter Throwdown, and then my series last year. I really think those events and podium speeches and being on live streaming and everything they've gone through, it's really primed them for this. They're still, you can tell they're immature. They're still need to be better with interviews
It's
and
middle
like
school and high school
listening.
kids though, but so
Yeah,
like, what
they're
do you
still like to
expect?
press my buttons and they do dumb shit where I'm like, I just want to smack them all. But yeah, it's cool. I feel like an unk to a lot of them, and I think a lot of them are scared to even like talk to me because they probably think I'm always grumpy, which maybe I am. I don't know. I
You were so, like shockingly happy on Saturday. Normally you're like kind of like locked in race mode, business mode. I've never seen you smile that much on a race day.
I'm trying to be more fun, bro. I mean, it's a lot like on race weekends and a lot going on, and my mind's always going a million mile an hour. And I look at old videos or old posts of me from like 10 years ago, and I keep saying I was fun, dude. I was so much fun, and now I'm just, yeah, I need to enjoy things more. Just always locked in the trying to. I don't know. Fuck, I don't even know, bro. I'm just, yeah, I had fun. It was cool. I need to enjoy the moments and yeah, try
You
to,
came and hung out with us for heat races, and
yeah,
Caitlin and Shane and Cole and I. So you got to park it in turn one, have a little
yeah,
fun. So
that's
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
be a little more social ctex now.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah, going into the singles, Trevor Bruner took the win. Not surprised. Everyone's like, I can't believe. A couple people were like, I'm surprised Bruner won. I'm like, bro, what do you mean? Like Trevor Bruner's fast. So, and he kind of has this like when he decides he's gonna win or he locks in, he's as good as they come. I mean, I've seen some rides from him where he's the best guy in the country. So, not surprised at all. I think I always expect more from Trevor in terms of competing for a championship. For some reason, he still has days where he's a little bit off. And then I watch rides. I watch rides like this past weekend. I watch rides like Harpster last year. I watch events where I'm like, dude, I can't believe this kid doesn't win more races. So
His
very,
battle
very
with Breyer at Hagerstown a few years ago when you
his
first went
battle with
back there.
Breyer at Salem. That's what Breyer said too. Breyer even last night after the races, he's like, man, he's like the days that me and Trevor have battles, he's like, I'm very confident in my ability and he gives me all I can handle. So uh
Well, Trevor has said himself, like sometimes it takes him a couple of rounds to really get into the season, and sometimes I'll admit I was kind of overlooking him a little bit. I thought it was going to be sort of a Tom Chase, Fanders, Tadman type night, and kind of overlooked Trevor. And he was fast all day, like you said, and he was right there toward the front, right behind Walker, and Walker put in a couple of really good laps like early on. I thought he was going to start pulling away. And then yeah, Trevor got by him, and Walker had that really tense moment in 3 and 4, and dropped back to fourth or fifth around that time.
yeah, once Trevor got into the lead, I mean, at that point it's just kind of managing the race, but he did amazing. It was cool to see him get a win. Justin Jones, a very, very impressive second place finish. Um, his biggest question for me has always been fitness, and he was strong the whole race. Like I'm looking here now, um, Trevor Bruner's lead. Yeah, I think I read a post where Jones said he was cutting into his lead, and it kind of stayed the same. Like lap 18, 7-0, 19, 7-2, 7-5, 7-2, 7-2. So he kind of matched pace with him at the minimum. Like he was there, and I don't think he had the greatest start. He might have been third, fourth, or fifth at the start, but he got in the second almost when. I feel like when Bruner got into the lead, and I'm really bummed for Walker. I thought that was going to be his night, at least to get a podium. After the heat race, I was like he could win this race. Like I've been on the Walker Porter train, and then I the train derailed a little bit that first day at Daytona, so it was cool to see him rebound and win the heat. I think he is a very talented kid who can make a run at these top guys. I don't know what he's missing because I don't spend enough time with him. Uh, but I will say, I think the Hondas were a little off the other brands. You look here, Cage, Walker, Taryn, 5 through 7, and then you had Jared Lowe in ninth, and then the only other Honda was Caleb Martin in 17th. So I don't know. It just seemed like I know riding the bike, as soon as the Honda for me would get sideways, it was really hard to bring it back in line and drive off the corner. Where like the other brands, they kind of the rear wheel kind of follows and drives together, where the Honda felt like it would swivel a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense, but um, yeah, I mean, dude, it was kind of a weird race. Like you had Sadoff in third, and he kind of didn't like the first two guys were on the bottom, and Sadoff was kind of a bike length or two higher than them almost the whole race. It didn't even look like he tried to go low. Uh, and I know he was visibly disappointed in third, which people were like, "Man, why are you disappointed? You beat the guy who you're kind of probably going to be battling with for points in Tom Drain." I think when you Chase looks ahead and he sees Bruner, maybe to a lesser extent Bruner, but Jones ahead of him. Not that those guys aren't amazing riders, but if Drain's going to get fourth, he probably feels like he missed an opportunity to make up a lot of points by winning or getting second. So that's I think where the disappointment and frustration was. It's like, okay, I beat Tom, but I only gained what is third to fourth, 2 points.
Two, yeah. Well, and it's a track that he won at last year.
Yeah,
He won it at Senoi last year, and he was
yeah.
running low. Like he was kind of running a similar line to last year, I think, where he was sort of like just a lane or two off the bottom, and Tom was able to gain on him a lot last year by just rolling that
He
very
gained
bottom of
this
the
year
track.
too. I thought he was
And
going to get him there
toward
at
the
the end of
end,
this race, and I was like I said, I was really shocked that Chase didn't try to move to the bottom. He was losing visibly. It seemed like he was losing a lot of time in turns one and two, just riding higher. So, uh, but podium nonetheless, really good result for the first impressions team. And Tom just, man, he couldn't get anything going. He didn't have the speed to, he just wasn't as fast as the three guys ahead of him. I think he rode better lines there at the end of the main and he caught Chase, but that's a tough night for Essenson team, like on the 450 side of it. Like, I think any day that they don't get on the podium, they're really probably shocked at that result.
his worst result last year was fourth, and that's kind. I mean, this class is it's definitely it's really competitive, and yeah, Tom and Chase still feel like the classes feel, but like are here early in the season, like Bruner's there second in points. Jones is not far off. He's had a really consistent start to his year. We'll see. We go into a couple more short tracks, and if he can keep putting consistent rides together, man, he's hanging around. And then Cage was able to get around Walker late, past him around the outside, I think in one and two, and slotted into fifth. Cage was kind of behind a lot of the day. I think he started 11th. I think he finished sixth in this heat race, was like 11th in the main event. Made a few passes, was kind of in that gaggle of Santero and Walker and himself. And I don't have the results right in front of me right now, but yeah, Fanders was in that mix as well. So he was kind of in like a pack the whole time. Couldn't really break free and just run
Cage,
his own
Walker,
laps.
Santero, Fanders, Jared Lowe, and Jordan Jean. Top 10 for Jordan
Jordan
Jean. Good
Jordan
result.
Jean from the LCQ, and he was moving forward too. He was trying a higher line for a good bit of that race, I believe.
Yeah, good. I didn't know he got 10th. That's a good result for him. So, looking at the points in that class, you got Drain with 56, you got Bruner with 50. I think this is Bruner's best chance to, and they got to start beating Drain because when they go to the miles, it's almost, I won't say it's a sure thing, but bro,
Close to it.
I mean, I think Chase's bikes will be fast enough, and I honestly, again, I'm not trying to be biased, but I think Bodie on the Bigelow Hondas will be very, very strong. And he's not in the for the points, but I think he'll be really strong on the miles as well. Um, I just don't know what the other. Oh, and the Turner bikes are always good on the mile, but I don't know what the other people have for motor packages. Like there's a lot of unknowns with Bruner. I don't know who's doing his motors. I don't know who's doing Fanders' motors, to be honest. So, yeah, the mile. I mean, they got to start beating Drain. They got to get ahead of him in points leading up to the miles and Lima. He's going to be really good at Lima as well. So,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
over the past like hasn't Tom only lost like 1 mile in the past 3 years, and that was DuQuoin
I'm
in
not
like
sure.
24.
Chase won, right?
Yeah, Chase got it DuQuoin
Yeah.
because they so Tom was toward the front and Cody got underneath him and Tom got kind of pushed wide and wasn't able to get back into that like back toward the front. And I think it was Chase
Yeah.
and Cody were 1-2 that race. It's kind of what because his I mean those SSM bikes are fast and Tom's really I mean he's a great rider.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
super smart and knows how to play the game.
Spikes are really fast, but I don't want to like he's a good rider too, and he
Yep,
knows how to draft, and
very smart.
he's a really good rider on the best bike. I mean, so yeah. Are we singles? Anything else on singles?
I
It
think
was
we're
dicey.
I think we're good.
I was like watching the main event, and like halfway through the race, I looked back to see I don't know, see who was where, and the battle from 10th to 16th was hectic.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean that also that whole LCQ was, I mean, oof. Yeah. It's that class is it's great racing, but it's very unnerving at times. And
Especially
I'm glad
Senoi
that
too, because if you try to ride around the outside there, you can get pushed up. Like you run out of racetrack, someone on the bottom can like push you up the track, and it can take a lot of take it. It makes you lift off because like you'll hit the wall if
yeah,
not.
otherwise you're going clattering into the wall. Yeah, we don't need that. I'm glad to see Caleb was okay. He kind of went down in a sketchy spot coming to the white flag, I think. So his bike was, laying there a little bit lower on the track, but I think it was behind the flag man, so you didn't really have to worry about anybody, cutting down into it. But yeah, glad he was okay because that was sort of a high speed zone where he went down.
Are your lips chapped from the weekend? My lips are so
So
chapped right now,
bad.
dude. I am
I'm also like,
struggling right now.
Daddy got sunburnt too. My arms are tough. I should have learned. I mean, I was in Daytona. My legs got smoked. They were still peeling this weekend.
I'm fine,
But
because I'm a Florida boy
okay.
now, and I'm all tan and shit. But my lips are struggling right now too. I look like a lizard licking my lips this whole freaking show. Um, Super Duper Twins, where we at?
Super Duper Twins. Also, speaking of Super Duper, did you see they're making a Grind 2? Shouts out Super Duper Skateboards. Did you ever watch that movie?
Super Troopers?
Super Duper Skateboards from Grind, that skateboard movie.
I used to watch. I used to skate when I was younger, and I used to watch Flip, like
Oh
Flip.
yeah.
Sorry, they made these videos, and I haven't watched them in a long time. And I know when I watched them, I was like 10, 11 years old. So I was like told Amber Cruz, and I was like, dude, I used to love these Flip videos. Let's turn them on. And 3 minutes into it, Amber's like, turn it off. This is not appropriate. I didn't remember it was that bad. It's pretty bad. It was like
Whoops.
skate videos back in the dude. I we were allowed to do so much more than kids. Like when I was 8, I was doing way or no, I knew a lot more shit than like I want my son to know now. Does that make sense? I think
Oh
in the
yeah.
90s we were allowed to, dude, it was parenting was very loose back then. Like I
We got we got
remember,
we got into some things. You
dude,
start
I
learning
used to,
about you start learning about stuff that's
yeah,
pretty adult content pretty early
yeah.
on.
I grew up in a Harley shop too, and
Yeah.
they used to
There's some
have like
stories.
the Easy Rider magazines. It was like Playboy, but like Harley based, and they would just be on the shelf, and I would just like pick them up and go through them. And I was young, dude. Like, yeah, so and now, yeah, I'm like, I'm doing the math. I'm like, dude, Cruz is in second grade. I was like, what did I know in second grade? Way more than I want him to know right now.
I learned about the birds and the bees in third grade, not because of school, but
I
because of
learned a
wrestling.
lot of things, bro. I think I smoked a cigarette in like second, third grade. There's just one. Like I did one to know I didn't like it.
I only did one. I promise. I only did one.
Yeah, I mean it was. Dude, the times were so much different then.
Anyway, watch Grind. It's like, did you ever
All
watch
right.
Out Cold, the snowboard
Oh,
movie?
I love Out Cold.
Okay,
Bro, I
so
love
imagine
Out Cold.
imagine Out Cold but with skateboarding. And anyway, they're
Okay.
making they're making a new like version of that
Oh,
like
I love
25 years
Out
later, which is
Cold,
wild.
bro. That's a great movie.
Out Cold is so good.
The Eve 6 song in the beginning is
Dude, anytime.
amazing.
It's not on
Yeah.
Spotify either. Like, so I had to go
Really?
on, I have it saved on SoundCloud. That song, bro, those like action sports like movies, like oh, those soundtracks are epic.
That's a
They're
funny
so
movie.
good. It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
Alan from The Hangover's in it.
Yeah, dude, Zach Galifianakis,
Yeah,
like
that's
first,
right.
like I want to say it was one of his first roles because
And he's funny, like probably the funniest he's ever been in any movie in that movie.
dude, he was awesome
That's
in
a
that
great
movie.
movie.
Best like you want a good double feature night, Grind and Out Cold, like just a
All
cool
right.
like
I've
sub
never
90-minute movies, like good like chuckles, like nostalgic feel. When you watch Grind, you're gonna feel like you're watching one of those like Tony Hawk
I'm
Boom
gonna
Boom
write it
Hug
down
Jam
on
videos.
my notepad here.
It's on Amazon Prime
So
for free.
I'm ashamed to admit this, but I've never seen Bad Boys.
I heard.
And Bodie and Jake were quoting it this weekend,
I heard.
and I was cracking up. So I need to watch Bad Boys. I've never seen it.
Yeah, but only
Which
one and two.
I'm a
Don't watch the
90s
third one.
kid. Is there a third one? It's bad. Kind of like
Yeah, I didn't
Home
like the
Alone
third one.
3.
I didn't mind Home Alone 3, but it was not as good as one
Oh,
and
come
two.
on, dude.
Have you seen
That's
Home Alone
terrible.
4? That's when it gets real
No,
bad.
no, dude. Home Alone 3 is terrible. I would never get to the third or fourth one.
Okay, yeah, Super
Super
Duper
Twins.
Twins.
Ah, boy. Yeah. So,
It was,
uh,
it was okay. I mean, it
dude,
was
this class
okay.
is stacked right now.
It really is.
It's stacked. It's fun to watch. Yeah, Dallas won.
It's that whole
Kind of a
night I
boring win,
was
like a boring win for him.
yeah. If
But
he was going to get out front, like the guys, like they had to like lock in and chase him because like when you look in the dash when like Cody, Brandon, and Breyer were like duking it out, it's like you definitely couldn't do that. Like if Dallas could get the whole shot, and he's so good at just locking that thing. Like when the bottom line is good, he can hold that thing down there and just burn off laps, and is so good at that. And I mean, there's another guy who we're pretty big fans of that was pretty good about rolling the bottom too. So
yeah,
shouts out to Dallas, great ride. Like you said, kind of a not the most exciting race. Well, for third place, it was interesting.
he's not. He's got a lot of Jared Meese in him, where I'm not. I mean, I was that guy. Like I didn't care what I looked like. Very disciplined. Get a good start. Roll around the bottom. Um, yeah, I mean, he's not super flashy, but he's very disciplined. Like he just good start, smooth. He doesn't really man, I don't know. Like he's got very Jared Meese-ish traits when it comes to the paycheck at the end of the race. Like he's doesn't not super flashy, he doesn't blitz it around the top ever. He's just smooth, good starts, and yeah, I mean, I expected him to be good. I think the way the track was this year as well, it suited that Yamaha very well. The track had some grip and it accelerates very, very well. So I think it suited the bike, it suited him, and I think he needed to win that with how it suited the package they have and the rider he is. So did very, very well. Cody Kopp on the Harley in second, kept him honest. Wasn't He was riding hard to stay there. I don't think he ever had anything for a win, but he kind of underplayed that he's not good on these kind of racetracks. And I'm like, dude, you've won so many car tracks. He said he was good on these tracks leading up to the race. And then when he got second, he said, on a track that I'm not typically good on. I'm like, buddy, make up your mind. Like, you are good on everything. So
Well, in 23, he wasn't great. I don't think he was on the podium in 23. And then 24 was that day race.
maybe
He
meant not the
won.
clay track, maybe like more of a locked in clay track, like not one where you go up and down the track because he's a great clay track rider.
Coach is a great
So
rider. I mean, he can
yeah, I
ride
mean, these
anything.
top three guys are good on every single kind of track. I mean, there's not a weakness on any of them. So, and then Breyer in third. I think he was better than Daytona. I still think the bike, I think it looked like it handled better. I think they got some of that stuff figured out. He doesn't have, I think I listened to, was it your podcast with Colby where you guys asked about having notes from last year? And to be honest, he doesn't really have any of his notes from last year. And he basically handed the bike that had 8 wins over to over to Cody, like who is a phenomenal rider. So usually when you ride for a team, like I don't have a lot of notes from when I rode for LJ and John. Granted they'd be gracious enough to tell me, I'm sure. But I didn't write a lot of notes down when I rode for them because that wasn't my focus and I didn't have the bikes after the race. I have some, but I don't have a lot. So he doesn't have a lot of notes on that. So yeah, he almost is starting fresh. But I think the team did a really good job getting the handling very well on the bikes. Um, but the bike looked a little slower on acceleration than some of the other bikes. So yeah,
I
I
think
think
he needed that. He needed more of a top line to come in earlier on. Like I don't think he was like you. We even looked in the heat race. Like he won his heat race on the bottom, but he didn't look like great. It was kind of like he was almost in defense mode, and it
good
was like he was
enough.
clocking off
Yeah.
the laps.
Yeah.
But that's and was last year he was able to run a higher line and gain a lot of ground, and it
He
just
doesn't like
wasn't
riding
there.
around the bottom. That's not as efficient as Dallas is doing that. Breyer's the opposite. He wants to it drives him nuts when he has to ride around the bottom. It's like a fidgety fidgety kid. He doesn't like it. He'll just go high for like the bit. It's like, dude. So I don't know. Yeah, the bike it's getting closer. I have so much faith in their team. They are the hardest working team in out there. I mean, they work so hard. They brought on Jake Johnson. He's getting closer. It's gonna be there's gonna be some races where he's gonna win races this year. But he needs to start winning now if he wants to keep these guys in sights for the championship. Because right now, Cody has 65, Dallas has 61, Davis is third with 43, and Breyer's at 39. So
They're
Davis
already
rode
both a full race
amazing.
back,
Yeah, Davis
basically.
rode amazing. I thought he was going to get Breyer for third, to be honest. I thought Breyer rode outstanding to hold him off. I mean, to make an adjustment, to move high mid race, that's hard to make that adjustment. After Davis is doing it, he can see where he's gaining on the guy ahead of him. And then for Breyer to make that adjustment and go fast and hold him off, that was one of Breyer's best ever third place finishes. That was a
He
great
kind of lit a
result.
fire. Like it looked like Davis kind of lit a fire in him. Like Breyer was just kind of clocking off laps, couldn't really
Yeah.
gain on them. But then he had like a once Davis got up there, it was like okay, well now there's a target, and it's like
Now I have an
he kind
excuse to
of
go to the top.
he kind of like locked in and was like
Yeah.
ready for battle at that point. Like
Yeah.
and it like
Yeah,
almost like
maybe if he
reset his race.
restarted that race, maybe he would go to the top and maybe he could hang with them. But I just think the bike, I think he rode as hard as he could for what the bike would give him.
Yeah. Well, even when he went up there, I think both of them were losing ground. I think Dallas and Cody were still much quicker on the bottom. I'd have to go back and look at
Not
like lap
much
time versus
quicker.
lap
There
time.
was there was times where they were faster and then there would be a time where they were slower. It wasn't they were kind of yo-yoing. Like the last lap of the race, Cody did an 18.9, Breyer did an 18.7, Davis did an 18.6. So Davis had the fastest last lap of the race. So I don't know. It would have, yeah. What if, right? I mean, you could talk about that all day, but then you had two more Harleys in fifth and sixth, B Rob and Roos Evans. Um, I thought B Rob would have been better as well. I have a lot of faith in Brandon, but just just a little off right now. I don't know what it is. He's just a smidge off as well. I think he'll get there, and I that's why I'm not. If I was Breyer, I wouldn't be super worried about the points because you have some guys, and Trent had a really off night. Trent was in eighth, but I think, dude, there could be races where Dallas and Cody easily finish fifth or sixth. I mean, this field is much deeper this year, where a bad day still could be, it could be a fifth place. It's not crazy to think Davis, Breyer, B. Rob, Trent could finish ahead of Dallas or Cody. So, am I crazy or?
I just don't know if Dallas is finishing off the podium. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, it can. It absolutely can because you're talking about like depth. Like you're almost going to have to do. You're going to have to get wins and Dallas finish third, and like win and Dallas finishes third, and that's how you sort of like chop back into it. That's almost what you need to hope for. It's not that it can't happen. He's a podium machine.
Yeah, well, he's gets good starts. He's on a great bike and got a great team. I mean, yeah, the resources they have, it's unmatched. I mean, if he's struggling, there's so many things they can do, and the team, and Yeah, good rider with a good team. Just that's what you see right now.
Well,
So
and yeah, and like Cody now he doesn't have the narrative of like, oh, you're it's kind of what Cage had when he came in. Oh, you won your first two races, so can you keep it going? Can you keep it going? So Cody's got that, kind of out of the way and uh gets to reset, go back to Ventura, which is a place he was really good at on a single and another like like an actual short track. Get to head out to the beach and then
it'll
have a good
be
time out there. It'll
interesting
be
to see what the track does too. I think if it gets, the first year it was really like cushiony and awesome, and it'll be interesting to see what they give us for tracks. I'm trying to figure it out myself because I have my amateur race on Friday. I'm like, what are we working with, guys? What are we gonna have? So that'll play a big part into the pro stuff too, on who will do well and who will have a good setup for that.
I will say, I want to give a shout out to Dalton on the Aprilia. There was a couple laps there in the beginning. I was like, oh boy,
Thing looks fast
is
too.
it?
Yeah.
Like,
He was
yeah,
getting big old runs down the straightaway drag strip, dude, and just I don't know where did they post on where I didn't talk to Rob too much after the race, but did they post on why or where they struggled then at the end or
I saw he posted something. I haven't read it yet. I know they ended up in ninth, but still like inside the top 10, making strides forward, and yeah,
yeah.
got good starts, got up there in the mix again. If the track had opened up a little bit more and that high line had been better earlier,
I mean it was okay though. Davis and Breyer kind of stuck up there. I'm looking now.
they got up there later
Dalton
and
was
were making it happen.
13 seconds off the win. Breyer was 2.7, so I'm just curious where they lost that gap. I mean, I think
I lost sight of them. I was kind of got focused on
where
Dallas
he
and
was
Cody.
though, I just feel like he's a good enough rider to stay in that like at least fifth, sixth range. Like I'm just Brandon Price snuck in there and got seventh. That's a good result for him. He's kind of been not very Brandon Price-ish so far this year. Dude, I really think the kids that don't train in Florida and don't ride, um, they struggle to start the year. It just takes a while to get those laps in where everybody's down here riding. I think that would help Brandon Price a lot. It's for me with him, it's like, dude, he's so good. I just think he doesn't ride enough. He just needs to train and ride. And I think he works a full-time job still, so it makes it hard, but yeah.
And
Good
came through the
result though.
LCQ for P7 though. Yeah, I mean
Yeah, no, that's a
after coming from
great
last
result.
chance and
Somebody was like, "Yeah, dude, he got up to seventh." I'm like, "Dude, Brandon Price is a good rider." So, uh, Hammer and Hank in 10th, top 10 for Henry. It was a good result, decent result for Henry. I'm sure he's not super happy, but top 10.
yeah.
Benny Lau, Hunter Bauer, Logan McGrain, Declan, Jacob Lehman. I think somebody said that was his first Twins main, which
I think it was.
is kind of crazy because he's been racing for so long. I didn't know he had never really rode a twin, so that's cool.
He's
See,
always on the singles, and then yeah, that
yeah,
was their first start. He was pumped. He
that's
got the
cool.
last transfer in from the LCQ, and he was pumped.
Yeah, that's cool to see. Uh, it's cool to see another Kawasaki out there too. Him and Wiles were the only Kawasaki's out there, so that was cool. Yeah, I mean it was good race, man. Good event. They did 28 laps, which I think is a good distance. Uh, I don't
Yeah,
know, dude.
it's interesting because like last year, it's sort of like we were talking about Senoia as like the race of the year, and then this year it was kind of like again like as far as an event atmosphere wise, fantastic. Love going to that place. Loved what they put on there. The race was just kind of it was like it was sort of just a race for the twins class. And you'll have those sometime. Not everything is going to be super banger, but still, yeah, a standard day at the
Yeah,
racetrack is better than a regular day anywhere else.
yeah. I mean, anything else exciting happen?
Yeah, we had some fun in the pits. We had our post race shenanigans,
Yeah,
chats, and
yeah,
had a good time talking to everybody afterwards. That was
yeah,
that was cool. It was a good time.
yeah.
Sure, did anything else happen?
Dude, I
Gosh,
don't, I don't know.
I flashed. Well, I didn't
I
really
was
flash them. I showed Dylan and Ryan my tits.
nice. It's always
That's their bonus
that's
for the
cool.
weekend.
Yeah, that's nice. Boobs are cool. Usually female ones, but
Well, you take what you can get sometimes.
uh, I'm trying to think. Dude, I don't
No,
know.
yeah, not much
Did
else.
everybody have fun?
I mean, I had a blast. I'm like kind of bummed out that I'm not going to make another national this year. It doesn't look like
That's
unless,
crazy. That don't make any freaking sense.
well, one year. Don't forget,
Yeah.
if we get any cancellations, I'll book a last minute ticket. I'll come join you guys somewhere. I
Yeah.
really want to come hang out with you guys whenever you get back up to Pennsylvania too.
Yeah, it's awesome. We Pennsylvania in the summer's like my favorite, man. That's get to go over to my buddy Kent's and ride at their TT. We usually have crabs and hang out. He lives right in Maryland by the water and a lot to do in Lancaster. It's just a pretty part of the country. And yeah, you should totally come up. Maybe we'll try to do a race and hang out and ride. We get a lot more riding in actually when we're home, than we do in Florida. Florida's hard. I mean, we ride a lot in Florida, but I don't know, it's like packs, parking lot drills, and sometimes Callahan. We'll go up and ride Callahan, which we got to ride Callahan going up to Senoia. That was good for Cruz to get some laps on the flat track bike. He's just when we're back home, we ride flat track maybe twice a week at least, and down here it's once every 2 weeks. We're usually doing moto or road racing, and yeah, so I'm excited to get back home. I miss it.
When are you heading back? Is it after Easter?
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Couple weeks?
go. I don't know when Easter is, but I'm gonna go to dude, the holidays that aren't the same every year, it's hard for me. I don't like when is Easter this year? It's gotta be
2 weeks.
soon, right?
Yep, two
Yeah.
weeks. Palm Sundays is
So
coming Sunday, and then Easter's the Sunday after that.
yeah, so I'm going to go out to California from Florida, and then I think go from California back home. So
Just a quick trip up the street.
yeah, well, I gotta pack my life here, go to California, and then go from California back to Pennsylvania because then we have Budds Creek and Williams Grove, which people have been asking. I will get the schedule and pre-registration out for those events here in the near future. We had a couple snafus with Budds Creek that we needed to handle before and I think we're good on those. So I have that all done. We'll get that information out hopefully this week. I'll make a note right now. So yeah, we'll get that information out soon. Just got to get through these California rounds. If anybody has any questions on the California rounds, hit me up. Uh, and like I said, we have a lot of new people that are going to be coming out for those events. So hit me up. Dude, not much else. Like, there's not much else going on.
It's a bummer,
Deegan,
man. This is
Deegan, do you watch Deegan's ride? Come on,
I forgot
Deegs.
to put Supercross picks in on Saturday. I
Oh,
got so
I
distracted I
didn't.
forgot to do
I
my
got
RM fantasy
mine.
picks.
Got
Yeah,
mine
okay,
in. They
good.
weren't great, but I did pick Hunter to win. So
That's 26 points, 25
I
points,
picked
whatever they pay
Freezy
up
to
there.
get 14th, and he was 14th until like the last lap or something, and then he got
Dude, that's
13th.
so frustrating. That's
I
worse than
know.
anything else is when
I
you've
was
got the wild
pissed.
card and the wild
Yeah,
card is there and then they
yeah.
like fall over on the last lap.
I've missed the wild card like 5 times this year by one position. I'm like fifth in my league out of like 85 people. I do a league with Paul Lynch and a bunch of other racer people from like Paul's friend group. So yeah,
I was getting my ass handed to me in Dalton's league and the Carter Farm League, so I think I'm just
I don't like
whatever.
RM fantasy nearly as much as I used to like. I used to do the pulp fantasy. I think it's the RM one is just crap. It's just like who's gonna get 14th? I don't know. Like that's luck. It's no skill in picking who's gonna get 14th. Like
I think I get more mad losing that than I do like a parlay and gambling on the last leg.
yeah, I don't gamble. Well, I
Smart.
buy Pokemon cards and open them,
Yeah, you do
which
actually.
is
You do a lot.
gambling, and it drives me nuts. Just keep it sealed. Like if you keep it sealed, it's a guaranteed double or triple the investment. But no, let's fucking open it, trying to get the $1,000 card that hits one out of every 100 packs.
Dude, but that's what people want to see. They want to see rip packs. Nobody wants to see, I bought this. All right.
I
And
bought
we're
this
going to save it.
box.
I
Yeah, I
bought this
get
box
it.
and we're
I get
saving
it.
it.
Yeah, I don't. I know. Yeah, I gotta do better. Just gotta do better. Uh, yeah.
That's the
Appreciate everybody
thing.
that's been subscribing to the YouTube. It's been fun. These are cool. I like doing these. We'll do. I'm gonna have Dominic Bolak on the pod this week.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we'll have a little French Canadian on. So I think that'll be cool. Excited to talk to Dominic. He's really funny. So I'm gonna ask him a bunch of funny questions. Yeah, one of the best cushion riders I've ever seen. So be cool to have him on. Let's do a topic. Let's talk about something like, I don't know, history related that we can get people in the comments to chime in.
Okay, fine. I got into a little bit of a spat, if you will, with Cole on the weekend. We're talking about like guys now who we were watching old Mars videos. One thing that was kind of neat is that Will's best friend and his wife and their kid came to the track over the weekend. So them getting to see a 21 win, I think, was kind of special
Hmm.
on that front. But yeah, we were watching old like Mars videos and was talking like who I thought could maybe hang with not Will because basically nobody could, but like who could maybe hang with like Pegram or Rusty or some of those guys on like a pavement circle track. And guys that you see now who you think might have a shot at being in the ballpark there. And I don't know, I told him I was like, I think Cage could do it. He's road raced a little bit. And he's kind of fearless.
On
I
a
think Tom, yeah,
Mars
on like a
track?
Mars track. I think Tom would be fine too if they don't burn off the tire.
The Bear.
Would you? Yeah. Oh, well, you shouldn't have to worry about starts there.
Bro, I think I would have been great on a pavement track. I did one at Myrtle Beach. The Johnny Lewis had one, I don't know,
Yeah,
10
because you
years
guys
ago.
you guys ran around the rode around the infield for that. I was there for
Yeah.
that.
Oh, really? It
Yeah.
was like it was like a lot to win, and there was only like five of us, and I was the fastest guy. And before the main, somebody, Johnny maybe was like, "Hey, we should just put on a show and split the money." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet you guys do want to split the money because I'm the fastest guy on the track right now." And we put on a show for a little bit, and then the last three laps, I just wanted to win. So,
I remember
um,
your interview. You were like, "Hopefully, we can do this again and get up on the high banks." Unfortunately, that track is no more. But that place, if you talk to some of the guys who would race, like they talk about how scary it was to run Myrtle Beach because you just never shut off. And I never got to see like a full send Mars race at Myrtle
yeah,
Beach. We got to
maybe
get to.
well, now there's air fence and stuff, so that would be a little bit better. I don't know. I think like the good guys would be good. I mean, dude, I feel like I'm so biased, but Bodie would be good, right? I mean, he's a
A
road
lot of those
racer.
kids that road
Guys that
race
road
would.
race, yeah, Sam Drain, Bodie, even like smooth riders like Brandon Robinson, he'd be good.
I think you and Rob talked about
Shayna,
this a while
Shayna
back.
would have been good. Shayna would have been awesome at it.
Yeah, she's such a good momentum rider. Just
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
um, yeah, you and Rob kind of touched on it about how that just nobody would do it anymore. I think Rob said he tried to do it at one point and just there's no entries there. And you've probably maybe you've touched on this, and if we're repeating ourselves, I'm sorry, but we are 237 episodes into this thing, so I'm sure we're going to repeat ourselves occasionally. Why do you think like nobody would want to do like a Mars race anymore? Say, I mean, you talked about we've got air fences now, equipment's better.
I think
The
they would if
DCX
the
bikes,
payout
eh?
if the payout was good. I think people would do it if it was like 10 grand to win and it was like on TV exposure and stuff like that. I think people would still do it.
10 grand more
I
than an
don't
AFV
know.
race.
Dude, the riders now don't like to race anymore, it doesn't seem like. So it's not like back in the day where the riders they raced everywhere just to make extra money. Now that nowadays the riders don't, not a lot of them go racing.
Is that a little bit of nerves or just being sort of like not wanting to get hurt at like an outlaw race when your
I
career
think they
kind
don't
of
want to get their
matters on?
feelings hurt, to be honest. I don't think they like their egos getting beaten by like the local kids. But when I was younger, a lot of the top guys would come race with us. They'd get beat and they didn't give a shit. Like it's like, dude, I was beating Kenny Coolbeth when I was 16 years old. Not consistently, but frequently, and he'd still go out and win. He'd win the championship every year. So I think it was good for Breyer last year to go out and race all of our events. Like, I think he was at his best, like just getting those green lights, getting those checkered flags. But there's some guys with egos that they don't want to get beat, and that's one thing I want to train my kids, and I'm going to train crews. You cannot be afraid of failure. Like, don't be afraid to line up and lose to somebody. I wasn't going to race Saturday or Friday because I was To be honest, I was just tired. I was helping crews, running the race, putting my leathers
Yeah,
on, off,
you
putting
said
them
you
on,
weren't
off.
comfortable either.
Well, I just wasn't gonna race. I just didn't want to race. I just wasn't having fun racing. I just wanted to do my thing. But and then somebody's like, "Oh, you're scared. You don't want to race." I'm like, "Bro, I'm not scared to lose. Like I've lost to random people all of my career, but at the end of the day, I have two number one plates in my house. I've podiumed the premier class. I've done a lot of cool things. Like you got to be confident enough in yourself that you can't be afraid to lose to like a young kid or whoever. I mean, the beauty of flat track is it's a 10 lap race. Anything could happen. So, yeah, I just think people need to drop the ego and just race more. Try to get more laps in. And like if it's to the point where you don't want to get hurt, then I don't know, like race at 80% or 90%. Don't You can always lift the throttle sometimes. Like people don't understand that. It's like if you're not comfortable, I always just took a bit off the top if I wasn't comfortable that day. And there's some guys that just don't know how to do that. So, um, anyway, sidetrack there. Back to your question. A lot of guys would go good at like a Mars style race. Um, how about we drop a question like where would the fans want to see one? Like what venue would be good for a Mars style event? Like what tracks out there would be good?
Well, I still think that if they could do something in conjunction with the legend cars at Charlotte, it'd be cool. They did that for a couple of years. Not a lot of guys went, didn't pay anything. I think Hacker Lynch, Nickens, Robert Lewis, Will, they were there for those. Eads, I think, went to a couple of those. Um, Five Flags in Pensacola, I think if people would support it would be cool. Um, Caraway is still around. That video that we have on our page of Robert Lewis and Will Davis, like dicing it up, like Southern National at Kinley is still around, although that place is kind of scary.
Be nice you don't have to prep the track, dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That'd be so nice. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about it more as a promoter if that would ever make sense. I don't know.
I think it would have
Riders.
to be a quarter mile
Yeah,
for
small something
starters.
small, I think. Yeah, riders, or families, dads listening to this, drop in the comments if you would if we did a outlaw or not even outlaw AMA or whatever, we did a asphalt short track, would you come do it? Would you come race it? Or if the fans, would you guys like to watch one? So yeah, it's a good input. Drop them in the comments. Um,
John would love that.
John who?
Nickens would love that.
Who's that? Never heard of her.
He's got a pretty fast kid that I think can he could probably hang with you at Callahan, maybe like a tenth off.
Yeah, yeah, 10th or two off, yeah. Well, 10th or two off is still second place. It ain't like someone's like, Rob almost had you. I'm like, we're at the point now where we're excited
Rob
about
did have you for 3 or 4
almost
laps.
having. You never had me. You never had your car.
How about Rob's line in the 40 plus
Win's a
class?
win, bro. What'd he say?
No,
Oh,
just
I didn't watch
his
it. I
racing
didn't
line.
watch
Oh,
it. I didn't watch it.
way up the track. Him and Tapel were side by side for majority of that race. It was fun. Rob was
I didn't
way up the
watch it.
track.
Yeah.
Subscribe, fanschoice.tv.
Almost had you.
Catch all the Mission CTR events.
You never
Plug.
had me. Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. I love that movie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, Fast and the Furious?
I can't quote that movie. I can't
Bro,
quote it.
that's
I
all
used
I
to watch.
quote. You didn't know that was the quote when I threw that out?
No,
Yeah, when Blondie, Paul Walker, he says, "Dude, I almost had you." He said, "You never had me. You never had your car."
all right, so my homework is to get more familiar with Fast and
That's
Furious. Yours
crazy.
is to watch
I'm
Grind. Yeah. Well,
bummed.
they
I'm
made
bummed.
37 of them, and now they're like doing like barrel rolls out of airplanes and the
Yes,
Rock's there.
they're terrible now, but the first two at least are great.
The first I'm giving like they were good. Like I enjoyed watching the first probably 4 of them. I just can't quote them.
Dude,
It's
the
not
first
something that like
five are
sticks with
good,
me.
but the first one is very quotable. I'll send you
That
some.
is the iconic one.
I'll send you some clips, dude.
Was Tyrese wasn't he in the second one? Was that when him
Came
and
in the second one.
Ludacris?
Too Fast, Too Furious. Yeah.
Yeah, because Ludacris had that song. Too fast, too
Ejectocito,
furious.
cuz.
Oh, okay, that I would remember.
Oh man. All right. Well, I guess I'll go to bed, right? I'm pretty tired. I gotta
You and
remember
I are
how to
complaining
edit
about
tomorrow too.
you and I are complaining about 5-6 hours. Didn't your mom and Keely have to drive like 70 hours?
I just got home like few hours ago as well. Yeah. Yeah. Good
Oh,
times.
everybody, just road dogs this weekend.
Yeah. It's getting old for this shit, dude.
One day you'll fly,
If I
and I
was
can't wait.
if
I'm
I
gonna book
was
a ticket on that
made to
flight.
fly, I'd have wings, buddy. I don't know. We'll see. If cruise races in Europe, I'm gonna have to fly, right? I'm not
You're
taking
gonna
a
have to. You're
cruise
not
ship
taking a
over there.
boat. You will never make it in time.
If I leave early enough, I will.
All right, Cruz. We know you're racing in May. I'm hopping on this container in February. I'll see you in a few
Yeah.
months.
To the Mayflower, just fucking going overseas.
Corey's just gonna get in a. He's just gonna get a kayak, just
Dude,
all the way
I'm
across the
vlogging me
Atlantic.
in a cruise ship going to Spain to watch them race.
If you're in a cruise ship, you just be getting just throwing down some land sharks by the pool. That probably actually wouldn't
Yeah.
be too bad.
Nah, it'd be fine. Yeah.
Do
Anyway.
they even do those? I don't know if they do like transatlantic. Do they do full cruises like across the
Yeah.
ocean? Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
of course. What do you mean?
I thought they
I
just
think I
went from
could
like
take
the.
a no, I could take a cruise ship from here to Australia, I think. I think.
I want to go to Australia now. I was hanging out with Fifes and
It's
Bodie
the
and them
last
and
place
talking to
I want to
drains.
go, bro. It's
Damn.
just too far. That's a 20-hour plane ride from Los Angeles.
Or apparently a boat ride for a while.
3-month boat ride. Bro, it's like the Oregon Trail, but on a ship. Like, run out of food. Like,
You gotta
go
make your own,
hunting.
man.
Go fishing out the back of the cruise ship trying to get dinner. Wouldn't have been easier just to fly? Hell nah. Getting on that plane.
You end up stuck
Look,
in a middle seat for 30 hours.
I'm
Just
gonna look it up. I know you can take a cruise ship to
send it to me.
Australia.
Send it to
Yeah.
me.
We'll book it. We'll vlog it. Be a
Yeah,
bit.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get some sponsorships, and then I don't know
Yeah.
how my job would hate it, but
Yeah.
is that's the end goal, right? I end up being your vlogger for that journey. Lose my
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
time job, and then
Yeah.
I'm a default ctex employee out of
Yeah.
necessity.
And then we're in Australia for like by the time we get there, we'd only be there for like 2 days. All right, back on the ship. Oh man.
Well, this has been real. We sleep for 2 days and then hop back on back on the boat.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, this was good. This is productive. Thanks everybody that tunes in, subscribe, like, comment, like engaging with the fans on this channel. It's been fun and
Yeah, comment on the Mars topic and also comment where you thought in what point in this podcast did we get delirious.
yeah, I'm shot, bro. But yeah, once again, appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting our events and the podcast. I got some interview pods coming up this week, and I'm sure we'll talk some more before Ventura. We'll do a little preview, John, or something. We'll fire them off.
Awesome.
So
Dominic Biolak coming soon though.
yes, that'll be fun. Appreciate you, Scotty. We out.